Good morning everybody, welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. I hope you're all doing great, hope you're having a good Sunday, and welcome to this new video here on Bitcoin. Wanted to do a full video trying to prepare you for next week, which is most likely going to be volatile again. I have to say, looking at Bitcoin specifically, the volume is actually still pretty high. Volume right now is around $17 billion. Well, I'll tell you, the last time we had volume like this in a weekend, it's been some time, all right? Last week, for example, it was about $8 billion lower, but I do expect it to still decrease over the next couple of hours, and then obviously towards the end of today we'll get some new capital, some new volume back into the markets, and then we'll also see some volatility. By the way, the volume has been quite stable since this morning already, so it seems like there's already some volume going back in, and that's also visible slightly with the price. We've dropped back down yesterday to that level between 82,000 and 81,000, the bottom of the value area that I think we're in right now, or at least that we dropped back down into on Friday. So this is pretty good, all right? This means that there's less of a CME gap. At this point of time, there is still a CME gap, by the way, and we also have a good chance to actually fill the imbalance we left to the upside before the week starts. But that's something we'll still have to see. It's a Sunday. Sundays for me are notoriously volatile. I also usually do not trade on Sundays unless there's a real high conviction setup. But the question is as well, what's going to happen with Bitcoin, right? Because so far, what we talked about yesterday is that it seems like we have dropped back down into this value area right here that we had during the middle of March. And I think that's pretty certain, all right? We had a breakdown below into that level, and that was also with a lot of volume. So it seems like buyers and sellers agreed on dropping back down into that range. Then yesterday we dropped down a little bit more. I think still because of just uncertainty in the markets. And now we're bouncing, and that's both good and bad. And the good is that we have quite a bit of an imbalance here to the upside. We have a single print, as you can see, and this level I think around 84,600 is also a week high. So getting there, I think is good, because that's one imbalance left, and then there's still an imbalance here to the upside at 86,500 as well. Maybe we'll have a chance to fill that, but filling these imbalances is always good, because then we get some sort of a confirmation about the direction of the markets. Now we also left an imbalance with the move yesterday. We have now filled that on the lower time frames, like on the 1 hour time frame here, which is obviously not something we can derive too much from. We also were able to break back above that, all right, which is usually a good sign. So that is also one of the key reasons why I do think that I think it's most likely, let's keep it at that Bitcoin will fill that imbalance to the upside in the next 24 hours. The thing is, that level at 84,600, that's by far the most important level, all right? If we want a bullish Bitcoin, we need to break above that, all right? We need to fill the imbalance, probably reject from there. Like initially, if we get to that level, we will reject, but then finding support at like 83,500 and then breaking above that, that's the best case scenario technically. And whether I expect that or not, at this point of time, I don't, all right? Because even though the short term here on a Sunday looks pretty good, the short term momentum here is also with no volume, and what we still have is that problem of the fundamentals, all right? The price action of Bitcoin is largely dependent and derived from the fundamental situation, right? And obviously April the 2nd we have the tariffs coming in, and we have uncertainty about the trade war around that. So therefore I do not think it's most likely we'll get that bullish breakout. I think the bullish breakout above 84,600 is only possible if we get some sort of a positive development of the, I think the main thing is the trade war right now in the world, all right? If we get some positive development on that, I think we can break above that. For now, I'd say it's more likely we will get up there, fill the imbalance, and reject back down into 81,000. So that's what I think you need to know for now. Now, I will probably make a middle of the day market update later today, talking about next week as well in terms of news events, etc. And hopefully we'll have somewhat more price action to actually be able to predict whether we can break out or not. But I'll see you then. But for now, I think that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.